Somebody, please, if you have Yoshifumi Gotsuka's number, could you call him, please, like right now? Tell him to get out of the kitchen. He's been cooking a little bit too much. Chapter 197. Unbelievable. And another one. I can't even talk. Let's just talk about the chapter because I probably have words to say about that at least. Bienvenidos a la Duvides, it's your boy Darzus, and I hope you are having an amazing day. If you like this video, then like this video. Leave a comment if you want to comment about the goddamn chapter, and if you could, subscribe if you're new here. I would appreciate all of that junk. So we hop back into things following Fuuko's spirit gun, which absolutely decimated Uma Beast's blue whale. And astounded by Fuuko's rapid growth, Beast states that Fuuko has actually achieved something that neither Unjustice nor Undead could do, catching onto them. And what's super interesting about this is obviously with the concept or idea of them being explained this chapter, I think we may have caught a little white lie from Beast, but let's just dive into it. So the them who Beast is referring to and who Fuuko met up with in that sort of metaphysical state last chapter are the previous generations of one's ability. That was the previous generations of Unluck, and yes, if you're thinking what I was thinking last week, it is quite literally one for all for My Hero Academia, which is the main reason I didn't like this theory, but dog, that's neither here nor there. I love Yoshifumi Gotsuka, and I'm going to look past it. Those negators of previous generations choose their successors, an idea Fuuko gleaned from the passing of Untruth, as well as the greatest example, the Yamaoka family, whose passing of Unbreakable from generation to generation across several eras shows the veracity of this statement. So upon their deaths, we can assume that negators of a certain ability convene in some sort of metaphysical place where they all decide who they're going to pass their ability on to. And what's crazy about this is we previously believed that God would randomly choose some person in some random situation to cause a tragedy and a negation ability to go along with it. But it seems more likely that previous negators are actually choosing people who are about to undergo some large tragedy at the hands of God, because they know those who have undergone hardships are more resilient than those who are not. Well, one thing that's absolutely hilarious about a previous generation choosing who's going to get a negation ability is why do we have all of these funny name puns in the last two loops? I can't imagine every single one of the past generations of like Unrepair was named Rip to some extent, or maybe that's quite literally how they choose who's going to get the ability. They saw Top Bull Sparks and they're like, damn, that nigga sounds unstoppable as shit. They saw Usain Bolt, they were like, yeah, he's kind of fast, but like, he ain't unstoppable. Hey, actually, before I go on, here's a quick theory. Jui said that this is the perfect group of negators to finally get the task done. Maybe even the names coinciding with each of the abilities is part of that as well. Crazy. Nonetheless, let's rewind the clock back to where we started, Beast stating that neither Unjustice nor Undead have ever achieved this state, because I think that is only reigning true for Victor and Juice. Given the rule Undead, we've always assumed that Victor is presumably the very first negator to have that ability. And never had he mentally died until that day where Juice stabbed him with Remember, creating an entirely new persona and person in Andy. And one thing we saw last loop following the inclusion of Ghost and, the true introduction of souls being a pivotal factor within Undead Unluck was Andy taking a peer into his own mind and or even maybe his soul to speak with Victor. Here we saw him discuss his resolve, his vision of justice, and his willingness to become a god of death. In this entire conversation, if it is not the exact same state which Fuuko just achieved, it's gotta be something very, very close, a precursor and dog. That's all I'm saying. And what's even more interesting about it is Victor never was able to achieve this state. If we truly assume that Victor was the only negator to ever have Undead, then we needed another Undead individual to be able to achieve the state of reaching back past into my old memories, because I got all my memories. And you may be wondering, Darzus, where the hell are you going with this? And I say this all to make one point clear, and that is that Juice is really the goddamn GOAT, the true leader, because even beyond the grave, we are still figuring out more aspects of her plan and what she truly did to accomplish us even getting the possibility of taking down God in this loop. If what B said is true, then yes, Juice and Victor were never the ones who were ready to defeat God, because they could never achieve this state. They could never accomplish this, and I think Juice herself, Unjustice, knew this. She knew that the current vessels for injustice and undead were not the ones necessary to accomplish this task, so she entrusted it to somebody else. A very beautiful story, but I don't know if who she entrusted it to is ready to face off against a Phase 3 Master Rule. The final evolution of all Umas. We have not seen this state achieved since spring, but honestly, the wait was very much worth it. My only ask for this entire arc in terms of Beast moveset was to see him achieve some sort of chimera form, and here he is in all of his glory. Expanding his soul everywhere, Beast uses Revive Destruction, resurrecting a storm of ancient wyverns which don unbreakable armor from below the Earth's surface. And with a slight evolution, I see you, Julia Eusticia, learning how to harness your soul just a teensy-weensy little bit. She notices that our boy Beast is no longer tethering all of these creatures with a soul. These resurrected creatures are fully at the whim of the Beast, the apex predator, the fittest of all. Uma Beast. And with unbreakable wyverns controlling the skies, it seems like the fight on top of this water is going to be the Union's death wish. Hey, but bro, you know what they say, big time players make big time plays in big time games, and Haruka, I need you to step up right now, girl. Fuuko details all of those ideas I was speaking about at the beginning of the video. You know, the fact that an ability is passed on from one generation to the next on purpose. The fact that all previous users are inhabited within the soul of the current negator. And the fact that unbreakable, due to their ability to pass on their ability from generation to generation purposefully, something which not any other negation family we've seen has been able to purposefully do, she should be able to easily synchronize with those past users. So, you know, the boy Top Bull Sparks runs off as she meditates and finally comes into connection with the Unbreakables. She sees Gramps for the first time in 3 years, as well as connecting with this group of hard-boiled, strong-ass women and men. And she learns that she's never alone, and that she'll never be alone. Even without her family there to teach her how to leverage this ability, they will always be with her in her heart. And she also learns how to put together a sturdy little suit of armor, something we've never seen her do, in developing this genuine sense of confidence, this ability to harness her ability. It's absolutely beautiful because we see the boy Top Bull Sparks ready to get some shit done. So Top gets the upgraded suit from his Nico rendition, and Haruka gets the confidence to put herself and her work out there. And Beast has been saying that Fuuko's unluck is not enough, but he's stupid. It's enough for you, boy, because he ain't ready for the unbreakable 12-layered Roadrunner's regalia. Look at our boy Top. He's ready. Chapter 197 or 6, whatever the frick I just read. We're ready. I loved it. It was a really good chapter. A lot of good lore too. And dog, Yoshifumi, slow down, dude. You're cooking a bit too much. It's really hard to collect my thoughts whenever you're out here dropping bombs on us weekly. You got Phase 3 Umas. You got Julia Eusticia trying to climb and crawl out of the depths of being hated by a guy like me. It's a lot to take in one goddamn chapter. And honestly, I'm not happy to see Top Bull Sparks just turning into a goddamn god solely due to the fact that he's got momentum on his side. But dude, if we could see Beast outfit a blue whale, outfit a goddamn megalodon maybe, in some unbreakable armor, I would love to see it. The fact that in his Phase 3, he is able to use his abilities and also add them to all of the other creatures which he resurrects is absolutely belligerent. I gotta pee really bad though, so I gotta go, y'all. I love you. Hasta luego. Hope you have an amazing day.